Hello and welcome to Tech Lab. This is a hardware review show with a bit of a difference. We actually use the products, we put them through their paces. You can see the picture's slightly grimy. Well, they've been used. In this case, we've got the Zowie AM-GS along with the GTF Speed XL mouse mat, and we've used them for a period of 2 months, maybe a little bit more. First up, let's check out the mouse. So this is the Zowie AM-GS mouse. Now its features are, it's ambidextrous, so both left and right-handed users can use the mouse. It's got 2 thumb buttons on each side of the mouse for a total of 4. No drivers are needed, you simply plug the mouse in and away you go. It's got an optical encoder mouse wheel system for increased durability. It's got 450, 1150 and 2300 DPI adjustment. It's got adjustable USB report rates of 125, 500 and 1000 Hz. Zowie custom designed lens for a very low lift-off distance of 1.5 to 1.8 millimeters, and it's compatible with operating systems Windows 2000, XP, Vista 7, Mac OS X and versions after that. This is the left side of the mouse. Now you can see the 2 side buttons on the left hand side, and what you will notice when I show you the right hand side is it's completely identical because it's ambidextrous. Again, both left and right handed users can actually use the mouse, so it's totally the same. Now this is the rear of the mouse. It's got a nice Zowie logo on the back, but apart from that there's not really that much to show there. It's just grey and black and a nice red Zowie logo. Now this is the underside of the mouse. I have got some issues with this. So if you look, well obviously you can clearly see the laser in the middle, but if you look at the button, which I've just highlighted, when you press that button in it changes the DPI. Now the colour changes depending on the chart that's on the screen at the moment, but this is on the bottom of the mouse. This is quite difficult to do on the fly. You know, you swap from infantry to tank in Battlefield 3, you want to swap the sensitivity over, you have to turn the mouse upside down. It's pretty difficult. Now this is the front of the mouse, and you can see the roll wheel, but we'll go into more detail on that in a minute. But it's a nice looking mouse. You know, I do like the way this mouse looks. It's simple, it's understated, it's got nice clean shapes, it's nice. So this is a scroll wheel. Now the scroll wheel itself is quite nice. It's really durable. It feels really, in fact, I would go as far as saying this is probably the best scroll wheel I've actually felt on any mouse. It is really, really nice. It feels nice and robust, and it feels like it's not going to give way. Also, you can press the mouse wheel in for an extra button if you so desire. Now, looking at the weight of the mouse, it only weighs in at 91 grams, and this is a very light mouse. It's not very heavy at all. This can be an issue for some people. Some people tend to prefer lighter mice, other people like heavier mice. It kind of comes down to personal preference. For comparison, this is the Roccat Cone Plus that weighs in at 143 grams, considerably heavier than the 92 grams of the Zowie. However, the Zowie does not feature any kind of removable weight cartridge, as in the case of the Roccat Cone. You can alter the weight of that mouse. That is the mouse at its heaviest. So that is kind of a missing feature on the mouse. Please be aware it is a very light mouse, and if you're used to heavy mouses, this might not actually be the mouse for you. Moving on to the mouse mat, this is the GTF Speed Edition XL mouse mat. It's got a newly designed rubber base for increased stability. It's liquid resistant. Its triple stitch edges preventing fray and increase the lifetime of the pad. It's got rolled edges for added comfort. It's 100% compatible with all types of mice. You kind of would expect that. And it's 440 by 320 by 2 millimeters, or 7.3 by 12.6 by 0.08 inch, in case you don't use millimeters. In fact, if you're in the US, I believe. So the top right of the mouse, there is a nice bit of detail. This is the Zowie logo. Now this is actually like machine stitched cloth over the top. It's pretty nice, but as you can see, a bit frayed. In the bottom left hand side of the mat, there is this nice printed Spawn logo. That looks really nice, and as you can see, no wear at all on that. Now looking at the wear and tear on the mat itself, down the bottom, this is where the base of my hand would go as I'm operating the mouse. It's starting to get quite worn away, and then up and towards the centre, you can kind of see from that circle there, if you look across to the right, there is a bit more wear and tear. But honestly guys, what I would say is my use of the mouse mat is really, really intense. You know, I'm at the computer literally 10 hours a day, and that's not even you know, an overestimation. That is, or an exaggeration. That is just, I'm an intensive user of the computer. So I would say normal use, you know, normal nightly gaming use, you're probably going to be looking at that type of damage in around, say, 8 or 9 months, maybe something like that. But yeah, I mean, I am impressed with the way the mouse mat has stood up to the repeated beating I've been giving it, rubbing my grubby hands all over it day in, day out. So this is kind of a unique thing which I've sort of come up with. This is the warp test. So what I have done is I've took a picture of the mouse mat as it's lying down flat on my desk. Now you can see the edges are kind of warped up. They're sort of starting to curl up. It sort of looks worse from this image than it actually is. It's not really that bad. I mean, looking at the mouse mat as it's on the desk, it's perfectly usable. The edges are not totally warped up. There was a Roccat mouse mat I used to use, a Roccat Sota, I believe, and that it warped. Like the heat of my hand absolutely warped that, but you get none of that with this mouse mat. It's quite good. This is the rubber base of the mouse mat. Now this keeps the mouse mat in place. This is great. It means the mouse mat does not slip, because if a mouse mat slips while you're in the middle of a game, you're going to go absolutely crazy. You're there, you're playing Counter-Strike, you're about to get that headshot. Oh god, my mouse mat's flew off the desk. I've got a right problem. This mouse mat does not move. It's stationary. It's stuck to the desk. It's fantastic. This rubber grip on the back, it's great. It just keeps the mouse mat in position. It does not move. So, in conclusion, what do I think of the Zowie AM-GS and the GTF Speed mouse mat? Well, I really do like this mouse. It's nice. I typically do like the lighter mice. You know, they're not heavy. They really speed around the mat. It's really nice. You know, it's a simple looking mouse as well. You know, it's not absolutely loaded with loads of LEDs, crazy flashing lights and all that stuff. Because personally, I don't really like that. I do prefer more of like a classic, understated appearance, which this mouse does have. It's also red, and we know red goes faster. This has been scientifically proven, so we love that as well. It is a nice mouse. However, it's not. There are the glaring issue I've got with the mouse is if you look at the underside, as I showed earlier, the actual button for changing the DPI setting is in a really strange position. Why it's on the bottom of the mouse, I don't really know. You would imagine, or you would have thought, that an easier or a better place, most other mice actually do this, or mouses actually do this, is they put the button there so you can actually really get to it really quick. So you're playing a game, you know, it's all going well. The example I give was Battlefield 3. If I want to jump out of my tank, I like a different sensitivity when I'm in the tank on the turret compared to my infantryman's rifle. So I jump out of the tank, hit the button quickly, and I'm changed. But with this mouse, I jump out of the tank, I'm like this, I'm clicking, I'm going back down, I'm dead. Or I could have potentially have died. And that's not for something that is supposed to be a gaming mouse aimed at high-end gamers. That is kind of a bit strange as to why that is actually on the bottom. Yeah, it's a bit of a strange decision. Also, it's kind of got a lack of buttons. I mean, you only actually have the 2 buttons on the side, and then you've got it on the other side as well. Now, for me, that's not really an issue because I don't really tend to use that many buttons on my mice anyway. So yeah, I'm kind of cool with that. But for other people, that might be an issue. If you are, let's say, an MMO gamer who likes tons of buttons on his mouse, then this maybe is not the mouse for you. But all in all, I am really impressed with the mouse. I do think it is a nice mouse, and it's over the months I've been using the mouse, it hasn't degraded at all. I mean, there's no damage to the mouse. It's in perfect working order. You know, the buttons all work fine. The roller, everything is perfectly fine. Really good build quality, and that's impressive. So the price for the AM-GS in the US is $49.99, or for people in Europe, we're looking at €49.90. Now, these prices have been taken from Newegg for the US prices, and the Euro price is straight from Zowie Gear. What I would suggest, and I would suggest this with every product, is, you know, shop around, have a look for the prices. You know, these are just some of the prices I've found. You can see there's quite a big difference between European pricing and US pricing, but, you know, I would say always shop around. Onto the mouse mat itself, if we just move the mouse out of the way sort of thing. This is the mouse mat, and let's just take a closer look. So some of the points I illustrated earlier on with the actual quality of the mouse, you can't really see it as good there because the lighting's not ideal at the moment for, well, I've not got the flash on, so I can't really show you the sort of like minor damage which has been caused to the mouse mat. But it is actually really nice. It doesn't move. Like, it doesn't move. It doesn't move. Like, I'm pushing this. It doesn't move. I'd have to literally peel the thing off, and you know, to make it move. It just does not move. It really is a nice mouse mat. It's a nice size as well. It fits nicely on the end of my desk, and I do like that. So I would say, guys, all in all, the Zowie GTF Speed mouse mat along with the AM-GS is a great combination. and I would definitely recommend it. It's a nice setup. It's not ludicrously expensive. You know, there are certain products which are like really expensive. This is kind of, I would say, sort of the mid-range of the high-end tier when it comes to pricing. But yeah, definitely, guys, I would, if you're looking for a new gaming mouse, I strongly recommend that you check out the AM-GS and the GTF Speed Mouseman. I've been Stylosa, guys, from Unit Lost. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Tech Lab, more gaming hardware reviews, headsets, mice, keyboards, mouse mats, and all the rest of it. And, well, hopefully I'll catch you next time. Toodaloo.